Peace. This is God I Seer signing back on once again from the House of Ancestors. Listen, if this is your first time here, please go ahead and hit the subscribe. Also, please make sure you go ahead and share this message with whomever you feel, share this with your people, your family, share it with a friend. As a matter of fact, man, I want to see you post this on your social media, and please, stay to the end. You dig? But yeah, man, I'm just tapping back in right here on YouTube with you all or whoever's listening. But check it out, man. It's a lot of things going on right now, man, and mainly a lot of distractions. A whole lot of distractions. And you know what's crazy about it is what gets me about all of this shit is that, all of these things that's going on right now, you would think that those who are supposed to be conscious, those who are supposed to be true spiritual vessels or leaders would not be engaging in such bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like what's going on? But you got conscious individuals, and again, I use the word conscious loosely because consciousness is not just one box. There's many levels to consciousness. You know what I'm saying? But you got people who you would consider to be like, what's going on? Like, who you would consider to be conscious or at least know better. But they sitting here talking about whether or not Kamala Harris is black. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck about any of that? We know she's not black. You know what I'm saying? And matter of fact, a lot of these government officials that you see on your television screen are not even humans. Joe Biden has been gone for multiple years now. That Joe Biden that you see is not Joe Biden from the 90s and in the early 2000s. They killed Joe Biden, been dead. Joe Biden been gone for like some years now. You know what I'm saying? You sitting here, so you arguing over a humanoid. So listen, man. I'm not going to get into all of the politics and all of that, you know what I'm saying, that nonsense, because I can care less about any of that shit. Like, I see it, but I don't see it. I see it, but I'm looking at it from a different view. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so yeah, like a lot of this stuff, man, that's going on right now on this planet, it's a lot of distractions. You got this presidential election coming up. And so before this election comes, they throwing out all kind of shit. I mean, it's just really, it's a big shit show, really, I want y'all to understand. I want you to understand something, please. You may or may not know, but listen. The whole time that you've been looking at these figures, this is not new. This shit has always been a stage. The world itself is a stage. And the people in it are merely actors. The world is a stage. The media is filled with propaganda. Since the invention and creation of the media, it has been a stage. We can take it all the way back. I might have to do another video on that because I didn't do this one to get into that. But yeah, like I can really go into some of the things that has been really manufactured since the beginning. None of this shit is real. None of it is real. Like, I guess even the conscious, quote unquote conscious individuals must have went back to sleep. Did you niggas forget that none of this shit was real? You telling me that you talking about voting in 2024? Are you serious? Are you still considering voting? Or you discussing an election? We gonna break down an election. We gonna have to talk about it from a higher perspective. But this shit ain't nothing but a distraction. All of it is nothing more than a distraction. The real thing and the real shit that's going on right now is a massive shift in consciousness that has already begun and is already happening. Has already happened for a few of us, meaning a few of us have already shifted in consciousness to the point to where we exist in a different reality. Like that shit, the politics and all of that shit don't exist in our reality because we've already shifted in frequency. Our vibration has shifted to a frequency in a timeline where that shit don't even exist. But wherever it does exist, it's going to be complete chaos. So the more you plug into that simulation, the more you're going to experience that. You know what I'm saying? So be mindful of what you tune your energy into. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like watching TV. Which channel are you watching? You know what I'm saying? And they call it a channel because this is where you channel different messages and energy through. It's like television. You know what I'm saying? Like when you talking about your reality, you get a chance to create your reality or you're going to choose your reality. So if you are choosing to engage in the matrix and all of this 3D propaganda bullshit that got you entrapped, instead of you waking up to your true self and who you are, you would rather be debating and shit about what happened with Donald Trump and all of this shit. Like, man, are you serious? Like, do we seriously have to sit here and debate that? Like, anybody with eyes can see that shit was staged and created. Like, what are we talking about? Like, this shouldn't even be up for debate. It shouldn't even be up for discussion. Like, what are we talking about? And even that is just another distraction. You know what I'm saying? So listen, man, I'm saying all of that to say this, man. You see all of that going on. You know, you got this shit going on with the election. You know, you saw Joe Biden and Kamala Harris situation. Now Joe Biden is out. She's in. She's supposed to be the matriarch, and they're sliding her in there. You know what I'm saying? Gearing up for something coming this election in November. And you also seen that Trump, you know, had to stage a attack or attempted assassination in order for him to gain favor among the black voters. Listen. Let me say this for a minute. I'm about to take you to school real quick. Listen. Don't you know that 99.9% of what happens, not only with the election and in America, but on this entire planet, depends on the energy of melanated people? Let me say that again. 99.9% of all the things that take place on this planet depends on the energy of melanated people to make it happen. Why do you think Donald Trump had to stage an assassination attempt? Because they know niggas favor people who's been through something. Because we can relate to niggas who done been shot at. You know what I'm saying? Why do you think they had to parade him around as a felon? Why do you think they had to make it look like he beat charges? He didn't go to prison. He's a convicted felon. They showed you his mugshot. All of this shit was staged. All of it. None of that shit was real. None of it was fucking real. Oh shit. So this, because they know this is called predictive programming. They know exactly what's going to move you as a melanated person or a melanated being. They know that whenever they do something like this, it's going to garner your attention. Because why? They got Trump out here looking like one of these rappers, bro. The nigga done been to jail. He done got shot at. Now he's untouchable. And so this is why they made this character, in order for him to win over your favor. Not that your fucking vote counts, because it doesn't. The voting process is all it's all to gather information. You see what I'm saying? It's much deeper than your ballot. Your vote never counted. Let's get that clear. So all of this shit was staged. So follow me now. Listen, I just told you all of this is they're all trying to garner. Both sides are one and the same, but they're trying to waver and see which side is going to draw in the most niggas. And what they're trying to do is divide niggas over and divide melanated people. Divide melanated people over some bullshit that don't got nothing to do with them. Nothing. So you see what they did with Trump to make you, that was to attract you to him, make him appear more attractive and relatable to you. They think all niggas like is just shooting, and they old. Let me boost Trump up as as one of these figureheads. We gonna make it look like make it look like he got shot. We gonna send him to jail, show his mug shot, and then you got niggas saying, "Oh, free Trump," and okay, cool. So now with the other side, they bring the matriarch in here. Follow me now. So this woman, who's not authentically melanated, not even human, they bring her in. She's the closest thing to black, to melanated, that they want to show you. And so they're using her. Now you seen her just now at a conference or some shit talking about, she said, Donald Trump talks the talk, but he doesn't walk the walk. So I gotta be like my friend Quavo and walk it like I talk it. You heard, man, listen, do you hear this corny shit? Oh, I know all about collard greens. As a matter of fact, when I was a kid, when we didn't have running water in the sink, we had to wash our collard greens in the bathtub. Like, are you fucking kidding me? We don't relate to that shit. But you see how desperate the attempts are in order to cater to melanated people, to make you feel like, you know what I'm saying? The shit really is fucking degrading and embarrassing. And the fact that you got especially these melanated females out here caping for shit like Kamala Harris is ridiculous. I didn't want to get into the politics of it all, but I had to start there to so that you can follow where I'm going with this. So go back to again, to drive my point back home. What did I just say? 99.9% of all things, of all events on this planet, not just in America, but especially America, 99.9% of events that take place are based on the energy and actions of melanated people. Melanated people make the world spin. That's right. Because the melanated human is the original person on this planet of existence. The human, which means colored man, is the original inhabitants of this plane, coming directly from the cosmic mother, the triple black darkness, manifested into a body. Your sun-kissed melanin is what drives this shit. Whenever we get in the sunlight, the sun penetrates that melanin, it charges us up. It gives us energy. It makes us move. And whenever we do that, we conduct energy. And wherever energy goes, it gives it power. Wherever our attention goes is where energy flows. So whenever we pay attention to, it's what runs the world, because wherever we direct our energy and our attention, it comes into manifestation. So imagine the power that melanated people have if we took all of our energy and attention and directed it into shifting up out of this shit and shifted into a whole nother reality and creating something and creating a reality where no governments even exist in the fucking first place. But you don't hear me though. Nah, you don't hear me though. We talking about moving out of your carbon-based body into your crystalline-based body. We talking about different states of consciousness during this time. So what I'm talking about right here, what I want to say is this, man. Listen. So you got all of those distractions going on inside government politics. Not only that, you got the Olympics taking place. That's another distraction. They showing you a whole lot of symbolism with that. And everybody talking about Snoop Dogg wearing the goat around his the blue goat around his neck, symbolizing Pan. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna get into that though. You know, see, you ain't see us. Oh, it's Illuminati. Is he? Listen, get out of all of that. You know, that scary shit. Like, man, listen, man. Where all of the real spiritual masters at? Where all the occult masters and the ones who know who we are? This is our shit, our science. All of the shit, the symbolism, all of it came directly from us. And you scared, running around talking about that shit? Like, get out of here. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's a whole nother conversation though. You know, what is Pan? So when you see the goat, you always the goat always symbolizes the god Pan. Pan represents masculine and feminine. You got on one hand, on the left hand, you got Donald Trump. On the right hand, you got Kamala Harris, masculine and feminine. You got on the left hand, you got, quote unquote, white or Caucasian. And on the right side, you got colored, which she's not really, that, but that's what it symbolizes. You're always talking about dualistic nature. So we're talking about Pan, the god Pan, the goat. So when you see the goat, or what they call the Baphomet, or what Snoop wore around his neck, that everybody's so ooh and ah about, why are we still talking about that? I thought, nigga, we supposed to be already up on that. We supposed to already know this science. That shit is just symbolism. You know what I'm saying? They using your shit. You know what I mean? And you looking at them like, oh, like, okay. But anyway, and then it was blue. What is blue? You know what I'm saying? Blue represents one side of politics. Democrat, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not a political man, so I think the blue symbolizes the Democrats. The red symbolizes the Republican. So when he wore the blue pendant, that should give you a hint on what's going to take place come November. You know what I'm saying? Follow me. Follow me now for a minute. So again, all of this shit is symbolism. I can do a whole segment on just talking about that and going deeper into occult symbolism and tell you exactly what's going to happen come November. And a lot of this comes from spiritual downloads, but I'm not really tapping into that shit. Like, I know about it, but that's not my focus. My focus, and the reason why the divine has me here, is to just share, the channel messages that I get that move through me, and the visions that I get, and to share the idea and the ideology of us shifting up out of this shit, of us raising our frequency and creating a reality where we don't even have a government. Why are you still participating in the game? See, I don't even participate in the fucking game, so I don't have to pick a winner or a loser, because that shit don't apply to me. That shit is on a dimension that is way beneath me in my level of consciousness. So why would I participate in some shit that I don't exist in that realm? You know what I'm saying? Remember, you can create your own reality through your frequency, through your mind, whatever you focus on. Right now, we are magnetic. You know what I'm saying? So as we've shifted out of the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius, As we've shifted out of the Kali Yuga cycle and into the new cycle of the Golden Age, we are more magnetic. This means that our spiritual capabilities and our ability to manifest is magnified. The veil is very much so thin right now that we can bring things into existence instantaneously. So they know this, and they know that once you figure that out, they like, oh shit, they gonna start creating a reality that don't involve us. So let us keep throwing out all of this shit, bombard them with information so that they don't turn and go within and wake the fuck up and become the gods that they supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? That's why they throwing this shit at you. Stop being like, why are you afraid of what's gonna happen? I keep hearing about Project 2025 and all of this shit is nothing but another thing keeping you locked into a cycle of fear. Nigga, it's a whole lot of shit done happen, has happened, and will continue to happen as long as you keep plugging into it. You know what I'm saying? They talked about that. What about Agenda 21? You remember that? 2021? What happened in 2021? Yeah. You still here though. You know what I'm saying? Remember the year 2000? What happened? You still here though. Listen, they do this shit because they know that every time you are on the verge of shifting your consciousness and truly waking up to the God self, the immortal being, that they have to do something to stop you. Because if you do that, then they finish. Because we're talking about levels of consciousness where you can just go into a meditation, create a reality where no government even exists, and come out of that meditation and no government will exist. It's as simple as that. I'm talking about thinking these devils out of existence. You can think these motherfuckers out of existence. That's the type of power that you have at this time. But if you keep plugging into the game or the simulation, you are continuing to fuel that. You know what I'm saying? What are we talking about? None of the master teachers that I saw before me would even be entertaining this shit. None of the ascended masters would be entertaining this shit. It's important to know what's going on certain levels. But when you look at it, you need to look at this shit from a higher perspective and don't involve yourself in the fuckery if you're supposed to be someone who's conscious. You know what I'm saying? What's your level of consciousness? You know what I'm saying? Because a lot, like I said, all of this shit is manufactured. It's all created and staged in order to, keep you locked in. Like, so you see all of this shit going on, distractions that I just went over. Not to mention, you got all of this shit going on with Puffy and this situation. Why is all of this shit happening now? You got to ask yourself that question. All of this shit that went on in the 90s and the early 2000s with Puffy and Diddy and, all of these women and all of these allegations and shit. Why is this shit happening now? Why did they wait to this time to give you this information? The whole thing with Keefe D and the whole Tupac situation. Why did they wait to now to arrest someone for the murder and killing, or so-called killing, of Tupac? I'm not even going to get into that because that's a whole nother story. You know what I'm saying? Why did they wait to now? Why did they wait to now? You know what I'm saying? All of these different things going on. They just announced that they arrested the 3 people responsible for plotting 9/11, who they say plotted 9/11. Now they're saying that they just took a plea deal. Oh my God. In 2024. That shit happened in 2002. And they got these 3 suspects on the news right now talking about they just took a plea for the attacks for 9/11, when we all know that shit was created by none other than your governments. Than your fucking governments. The ones who you voting for. The shadow governments. Those who run the those who ran the matrix, the free world, the slave enslaved world, I should say. But they showing you this. Why are they doing all of this shit now? Why are they showing you all of this now? I want you to understand why they doing this right now. Again, I want you to know how important it is for them to make sure that you do not tap into your true level of consciousness, because if you do, you will begin to experience things such as vivid visions that will show you exactly what you need to see. When you wake up your DNA, when you wake up your 12-strand DNA within you, you also wake up your ancestors that has been lying dormant, that is asleep. You wake up the energy of those ascended masters. You wake up the energy of the ancestors that's been sleeping, that's been lying dormant. And when we wake those ancestors up, these niggas don't play games. So whenever you go within, you remember your ancestors live within you. They reside within your DNA. And so the sun's activity right now is actually waking up your 12-strand DNA. So when the sun wakes up the DNA, you know who else wakes up? You got it. Your ancestors wake up too. And when they wake up, all of this shit comes crumbling the fuck down. This is why it's highly important for them to keep you stuck. They want to keep you voting. They want to keep you doing shit that keeps you locked into assimilation. You know what I'm saying? Remember, where your energy goes, where your attention goes is where your energy flows. You talking about voting and all of this other shit that don't even fucking matter, when I'm sitting here, we talking about, I've sat here and we've had discussions about, moving from your carbon base to your crystalline based body. We've had discussions about using the sun right now to activate your 12-strand DNA, receiving light codes. Right now, we're talking about raising your level of consciousness and how you should be connecting to the planet, connecting to Gaia, putting your bare feet on the ground, because she's raising her frequency. And whenever she's already unleashing. And so when she unleashes, she's going to knock everything off this planet that is not in alignment with her. So if you are plugged into the shit that they doing, whenever she gets ready to take them off the planet, your ass going too. Because you participated in the game with those people. So because you voted, or because you went and you took you let them jab you up, you took that. You took that inside of you to fuck up your DNA. And now, because you did that, it took you out of sync with Mother Gaia. It took you out of sync with the divine. So when the divine moves, now you're not moving in alignment with her. You're moving in alignment with the other side. So whenever the other side goes, you go with them. You understand? If you are participating in whatever it is that they have going on. And so listen, man, I just wanted to come and talk about some of these distractions. You know what I'm saying? Heavy distractions. Yeah, so, so they basically playing these games right now in your face, And again, man, I just stressing the importance of, you know what I'm saying? Stay tapped into your own energy and your own frequency. Do not become so caught up in all of these distractions that you forget who you are and what you came here to do. Because remember, nothing exists outside of you. It all exists within you. And so if you are allowing yourself to be pulled into one direction or another by external things, and then you take that and you internalize it, all you do is reinforce that energy into your reality. And so, be mindful of what you feed. Be mindful of what you give your energy to, during this time. And so, yeah, man, just coming back with that message, you know what I'm saying? Because I see a lot of distractions. I just want to give you a reminder that, hey, you got work to do on your own. You know what I'm saying? It's no time to be worrying about shit that don't even matter. You focusing on something like you talking about an empire that's crumbling, that's on its way out of here. It's already over. This shit has been over, man. You just now starting to see the effects of it. It's over. Let that shit crash and build you some new shit. Let that fall. Build a new reality. You done become so dependent on a false reality that you have to participate in it. You don't know what to do without it. You know what I'm saying? So, we've always been, we've always existed, and we always will be. You know what I'm saying? There's never been a time where we did not exist. Our souls all existed. You know what I'm saying? Since creation. I'm talking about the ancient souls that's listening. I'm talking about the ancient ones who's here. And we come from that stardust, that cosmic energy, that dark matter energy. We was here before all of this shit existed, in essence, not necessarily human form. You see what I'm saying? And so we should understand the creation process. And the creation process involves going within, going into the deep darkness to create something, whatever you wish to see. It does not involve subscribing or plugging into someone else's reality, artificial reality. Which is why you're going to see, you're seeing the rise of artificial intelligence. Because this whole, the 3D reality has always been artificial. It's never been it's always been simulated. It's always been a simulated reality when you look at it. You know what I'm saying? It was never, we came here to experience, we came to the planet to experience shit. We also came to create. You know what I'm saying? But the key is to not get stuck in the game. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people are stuck in the game. Like the theatrics is so obvious right now that it's freaking pitiful, bro. Like, this shit is pitiful. Like, you can just see through all of it, And most of us who can see been able to see this shit. But I'm just saying now, it's just like, if you can't see it now, then I don't know what to tell you. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, this time should be invested in, sitting down, tapping in, raising the frequency and creating. You know what I'm saying? Creating. Using your own personal energy to create. And whatever you create should be benefiting, the frequency, the planet. All you have to do is truly be authentically you and create out of your own energy, out of your own power. And by focusing that energy inward, you don't even see all of that shit that's going on out there. It does not exist. It doesn't even exist. And so instead of talking about, what are we going to do when this happens, or when that happens, or when this happens, why are you talking about it? Because by you talking about it, what you're doing is sending a signal out into the universe saying that this shit even exists in the first place. Again, I don't live in that reality, so I don't know what's going on. I mean, I can see it, but I'm not invested in that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not choosing that as reality. Because, when you've already shifted to a new paradigm, your total existence looks completely different. You don't even see colors the same no more when you shift. Colors even look more vibrant. The way things smell and taste even look different. This is because you shifted into that 5D or that 4D and 5D reality. You already shifted and you experiencing even 6 and 7D reality, or whatever dimension you may be tapped into. When you start experiencing these higher realms of consciousness, none of that shit that y'all talking about on the 3D, on the third dimension even exists. When you get into those higher realms of consciousness, that shit don't exist. So just because you gonna experience one thing doesn't mean the person beside you or the person that is going to experience the same thing. You may be experiencing war, you know what I'm saying, food shortages, government, all kind of chaotic shit with government and this, that, and the third. But then you may have another person that's just, somewhere off the grid, living out, in nature, you know what I'm saying, eating good food, living life, meditating every day, doing what they feel like doing every day. And they don't even see none of that shit that's going on because they live in a different paradigm than you. what you do is you raise your frequency on the inside, and then the outside will reflect that eventually. Don't worry about how it's going to happen, because we don't always know exactly how it's going to happen. Just know that by you raising your frequency, that you know that your external world has to match your frequency. It has to match your vibration. Also, make sure your actions and your emotions also match that frequency. You know what I'm saying? Because that's very important as well. So be mindful of what you give your attention to. And again, like I said, I didn't even really want to talk much about the whole, all of this stuff that's going on. And I just wanted to touch on it a little bit just to give it some context. But, I just really wanted to drive it home that, all of this shit, it's a lot of distractions. A whole lot of distractions. You know what I'm saying? As you can see, a lot of things going on with celebrities and shit you pay attention to, like a lot of things going on in government that you're paying attention to. It's like, man, you got to understand what's really going on. If you're going to look at this shit, look at it from an occult perspective. Look at it from a higher perspective and be able to see this shit from your first eye vision. Because a lot of this shit, all of it is symbolic. It's all one big play. It's a movie. That's really what you watching, a real live fucking movie. That's what it's always been. None of this shit is real. None of it is real. But you engaging in it. You know what I'm saying? You are engaging in it. Remember, on the Matrix, when Morpheus told Neo, the only thing that is real is your mind. You know what I'm saying? So if the only thing that is real is your mind, then you can create what you would like to see instead of choosing between the options that they give you. You understand? So it's just all a stage. It's all one big game. And by you participating in it, you actually feed that game. You feed that game. You feed your energy into that. And so you're plugging into that simulated reality. But I would, again, like, I don't really like to go into a lot of that, but I might do another video talking about the occult symbolism of all of these events that's going on and what it really means. Because if you pay attention to the symbols, they telling you what's happening and what's to come. Like you can see it. Like I just told you about, the piece, that Snoop wore around his neck that people, keep talking about. And I'm like, why y'all talking about that? Like, that shit is like nothing new. You still stuck on that. Like, okay, cool. When we gonna get up off of that? We talked about that years ago. We was talking about that. You know what I'm saying? And what the goat symbolizes, and like, all of the occult teachers that I knew that came before. Like, we talked about that. They talked about that long ago. And so, just on my path, I've already been privy to that. And so when I see people like still looking at that and all, like, that shouldn't even be shocking to you no more. Like, learn all of this shit and what it means, and you wouldn't be so shocked and scared of everything that you see. Like, you know what I'm saying? To me, what that does is means that you looking at this shit as being more powerful than you, when really you are the one who created it. You know what I'm saying? How you gonna create something and then forget that you created it when you see somebody else, you know what I'm saying, presenting it? It makes absolutely no sense, because you forgot. You went back to sleep. You know what I'm saying? So again, if you still listening right now, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? If you're listening, please like. And I want to hear your comments too. Please comment below. Drop a comment, share this, and post this on your social media, please. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I just wanted to come on here with that quick message and kind of touch on that for a second, man, and give you that info. So hopefully you found this information useful. And once again, man, I'll be back with another one soon. Just depending on where the energy takes me. And yeah, man. So remember, man, y'all go hit up the House of Ancestors. And if you need to reach me, or contact me for any type of consult, you know what I'm saying, or any type of speaking engagement, you can reach me via email, info@thehouseofancestors.com. Again, info@thehouseofancestors.com is the email. But again, man, it's God I Seer. I'll catch you all on the next one. Peace.